Meet Trent, a fighter from Australia who's been living in Bangkok for 2 years now.
I sat down, I said to my corner, I said, I can't see. I hadn't been cut before like that, so.
In this video, he shows us the realities of fighting here.
It's 3 rounds, but there can't be a draw.
Okay.
So if there's a draw, you got to fight another round, so it's sudden death.
And he talks about the parts of Thailand most foreigners never see.
When there's a chance of you getting knocked out in front of millions of people watching on TV, it's more or less someone's pride. It's not the physical injury, so to speak,
I'm Sam. I've been living in Thailand for 7 years, and in this episode, we're going to take a deep dive into life in Thailand.
Over here, everyone's just sort of happy with what they got. Not always wanting more so much anymore.
So what were your reasons behind leaving your home country?
Leaving Australia, basically time for a change really. I come over for Muay Thai, get a new experience of life. Yeah, there was a lot of reasons, but here it's been home for a couple of years now, so overall it's been a good decision.
And why Bangkok, Thailand?
Bangkok, I come here to train. I was given an opportunity to fight with Thai fight, which is a traditional Muay Thai with they call it ka chuk, so it's the rope on the hands rather than the gloves. So it was an opportunity that I was interested in. So it was new, but it was also exciting. So I wanted to give it a go, and still having a few more fights to come yet, and then we'll probably call it a day at the end of the year.
So what is the Thai Fight League?
Thai Fight League is just very big through Thailand. It's probably one of the big promotions through Thailand. They call it ka chuk. It's much better for me personally because you can use your hands a lot more. When you've got gloves, there's a lot more kicking. So it suits me down to a T, obviously having a boxing background rather than a Muay Thai background. So it's just a lot more exciting, a lot higher pace.
So what are the ropes called?
Ka chuk.
Ka chuk.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between punching with gloves and punching with ka chuk?
Well, obviously you're getting hit with a rope on your hands rather than a glove.
So the damage is a lot more.
It'll cut you a lot more. But it's also the gloves that they'll give you for Muay Thai in Thailand. It's a very amateur glove, and being heavyweight, they'll give you 12 to 14 ounce gloves as opposed to in Australia normally fight with a 10 ounce glove. But it's a very amateur style glove, so you can't close your fist either. So it's much better for myself with either MMA glove or the ropes.
Apart from the gloves and the ropes, is there any other main differences between your style of fighting and Muay Thai?
Yeah, see, I come from a boxing background, so I prefer to use the upper body a lot more. I'll kick nowhere near as much as some of the traditional Thais and stuff, but styles make fights sometimes, and that's a bigger thing sometimes as to why you can draw a bigger crowd and a bigger attention,
And how long has the Thai Fight League been running, and what are the rules in the matches?
Thai Fight League's been around for a long time now. It's big on every Sunday. Once a month they have a massive show with a lot of big names, but it's 3 rounds, but there can't be a draw.
Okay.
So if there's a draw, you got to fight another round, so it's sudden death.
So does that mean there's a lot of knockouts?
There's a lot of knockouts. It's sometimes you might see a few fights on the card go through the distance, but not very many.
And where can you see the Thai Fight League in Bangkok?
YouTube Live every Sunday, or otherwise it's on all through Asia, Channel 8.
So Trent, how did you get into all of this? Take me back to the very beginning, your very first fight.
So I went up to my black belt with karate for, I finished that maybe about 12, 13 years old, and I went across to boxing. Had a lot of big amateur background, and then went on to obviously turn professional in Australia. It was good. I learned a lot, obviously, but having a few different coaches in my time, it set the stage, and then life threw a few curveballs, obviously. And then I'd finished up boxing for a while. I had my sons, and obviously had a family in that. I took my sons one day to a gym out in Byford. The trainer there, Rhino, he goes, come do a PT. And when I'd done the PT with him, I actually started to enjoy it because I hadn't hit pads for a long time. From that there, I started training pretty regular with him and that, and he wanted me to have a fight again, so I thought, we'll sort of see where it was heading, and sure enough, we lined up a fight, but with glove was never going to be any good for the way that I'd fight. So we set up a fight in Thailand. It was on a big show, and I hadn't fought for about 10 years. I remember before the fight, I was looking at the stadium, and there was a lot of people, and I put my head out the curtain, and I said, "How many people out there?" To my friend, he goes, "Oh, there's a lot." So my plan was just to walk to the ring without noticing the crowd, and just focus on what was going on. I won the fight first round via knockout, but The next day, I remember it took me about a week to walk properly, obviously, because I'd been kicked in the legs so much during that first round. Although it wasn't a long fight, it still managed to still hurt a lot when we get in the legs chopped. You know.
Which stadium was that?
It wasn't a stadium. It was at near in Rayong, because once a month Thai Fight will have a big show, and they'll go to the provinces or the communities of Thailand. So, and then the whole community comes along, because for Thai people it's free. They'll get 10, 15,000 people to a show. It's massive, So, but then they have the ones in Bangkok. They're a bit smaller, but it's still a good venue.
So nowadays, how often do you fight?
A lot of it depends on a few things, obviously. Getting an opponent that's suitable, and then it also depends on injury, obviously, because a little bit older now. I have to make sure my body's okay to be able to go through the trenches. I mean, it's not an 8 or a 10 round fight. I'll only fight three round fights, but it still makes it hard when you're fighting injuries as well.
And being in a Thai fight league,
Yep.
Are your opponents Thai or foreigners, or is it mixed?
The guys that I've fought so far in Thai Fight League have been Thai, but they've all had a lot of experience. So I come to Thai Fight League with no fights, no Muay Thai fights, but only boxing background. So getting used to the clinching and being kicked, obviously had to adjust a lot. It makes for an exciting fight, but because the pace is a lot higher. There's not as much clinching, and you're encouraged to come forward. There's not as much grappling, so to speak.
And what's your reasons behind fighting? Like what gets you that motivation to come and do it again and again and again?
Half of it's just mental, because it gives you something to push for. In life, sometimes you're gonna have something to strive for. If I wasn't fighting, maybe I wouldn't train as much. So when there's a chance of you getting knocked out in front of millions of people watching on TV, there's a lot more to stake. But the only thing that really ever gets hurt is in a fight is more or less someone's pride. It's not the physical injury, so to speak.
And what does a typical day in Thailand look like for you, Trent?
Day in Thailand look for me. We'll get up at about 7 o'clock. Walk down to the boat. Get on the boat because it's obviously quicker than getting on a motorbike or a car that time of morning. It's pretty cheap too. It's only about maybe $1 Australian. It's about 20 Thai baht roughly to get from one end to the other via the river. I'll train in the morning at Samorikot. Otherwise I'll train at other gyms, but just depends on what's going on as to whether I'm going to do weights or cardio or whether I'm going to do Muay Thai training, So sometimes we'll do boxing, So it just depends on what's going on the day.
I'm curious, what's the most brutal moment you've experienced in a fight here?
Most brutal moment would have been the last Thai fight that I had. We knew that the guy was good, he's trained a lot of good guys, but he hadn't been active himself for a while. I think sometimes I took the fight a little bit lightly, thinking that I probably went into a little bit too confident, to be honest with you, but I got hit in the first round, got cut just above the forehead, and blood was shooting out everywhere. And I remember getting back to the corner at the end of the first round. I sat down, I said to my corner, I said I can't see, because of my eyes, it was just I was dizzy, obviously from being hit on a cut on top of the head. To me, I won the next 2 rounds. I definitely lost the first round, but he knocked me down later on at the end of that first round. But it was definitely an eye-opener, but that's the first time I've been elbowed on top of the head just here. It's still got a nice scar from it now, but apart from that, that's really the only time I've really been hurt, so to speak.
So how do the organisers find a balance between entertainment and safety in the Thai Fight League?
When it comes to Thai fight, they'll tend to make sure that you have the right opponent. Obviously, being coming to Thai fight, they want to watch attack and aggressive fight. They don't want to see someone on the back foot just going for points, because it's not about that. But Thai Fight League will generally look for more of a knockout and a proper fight rather than a scoring fight, so to speak.
Is there money in this kind of fighting, or is it you're mostly doing it for fun or to win titles?
The money in Thailand for Muay Thai, it's okay, but you wouldn't make a living off it, if that makes sense. Unless you're fighting very actively, decent opponents on good shows, I don't think you'd be able to make a living from it unless you had good sponsors behind you. But there is money, but it depends on what level I guess you're at. But I wouldn't come to Thailand and expect to live off just fighting Muay Thai.
And I am curious, was it always going to be Bangkok, or did you think about other places in Thailand?
Nah, Bangkok was first. I came here to train with a certain person, so it was always going to be Bangkok first stop. We still move around a lot, so if not fighting at a certain point in time, we can go to other parts of Thailand because I have family there and stuff, so it's okay. Bangkok's good, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming.
In what sense?
And it's always just so busy, you know.
Yeah.
If you want to go somewhere, sometimes to go from say the gym to a condo, it's only like a 1.8 k's, and so I got in the car one day in the Grab, and it was set to take me 1.5 hours to get 1.8 k's.
Wow.
So I ended up walking it instead. But just sometimes that's how bad traffic can be sometimes. You know, like I mean, you know yourself, obviously, getting around Thailand sometimes not very quick. You know, but it's a very minor thing. But that's why you take a motorbike or get on the boat. You know, it's fastest way to get around if you want to get around. Or the BTS, obviously, you know. And
what are your favourite things about Bangkok specifically?
I mean, you can go out here at 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and there was always something. You can go and have a look at something, and all of a sudden something new pops up you haven't seen before, or there's always something new. There's a business opening up, or a new spot that's opened up, or there's always so much to do in terms of training because you've got so many gyms to go learn so much. There's always just so much to see, you know. If you're open-minded to things, there's a lot you can always learn and pick up, or go on an adventure and have a look.
If someone wants to train boxing or Muay Thai or Thai Fight League in Thailand, where would you recommend they start out or go? There's
plenty of good gyms. Yeah, I mean, Elite is very good. You've got Samorikot, you've got Superbond gym. There's a lot of good gyms through Thailand, and especially Bangkok. I mean, you've got a lot of big names that come here all the time to train as well. So
what's your monthly cost of living in a place like Bangkok, Thailand?
Monthly cost of living around 100,000 Thai baht, which is about maybe 2,500 USD, or.
So that covers rent, food, activities,
gym. That's more than enough. You know what I mean? But it depends if you come here, if it was just yourself as a single person, or with a family. You know, and obviously where you want to stay is the biggest thing, obviously, as well. But I mean, you'll get a good condominium for 20,000-30,000 baht, so it's not much. But then obviously it depends on how you want to eat too, because if you want to eat Western food, it's a little bit more expensive than eating the traditional Thai food you can get here in Thailand. Obviously, it's a lot cheaper. But that, you know, it all works out all in all. But your bills and stuff are a lot cheaper because it's not as expensive living-wise here. Overall, it's pretty affordable.
What about the biggest misconceptions from the West about Thailand that people normally get wrong about here?
I mean, obviously a lot of people think that Thailand's just a big party place full of ladyboys and nightlife and red light district, but I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely here, but it depends on what you're looking for. You know, like it's only there if you're going looking for it. There's nothing bad about it. It's just you know, like you can go out and have a night out and there's no trouble in sight, so to speak. You know, like you don't get the problems when you go out with anyone. You know, like everyone's happy, and there's always a good vibe. So it doesn't matter where you go. There's always everyone's always very welcoming, so to speak. You know, so it's a big difference here because there's no big ego or macho man bullshit when you go out. Everyone's happy, just and very welcoming to have you in their venue, and people are happy to talk to you, or from other countries and other people, because everyone is either wanting to do business of some kind. Bangkok's it's a massive central hub. You know, I mean, everyone comes here, so because it's not far from everything. You know, everything's so close. So the people that you'll meet is crazy. You know.
And why do you think so many expats are moving to Bangkok, Thailand nowadays?
I think career opportunities is probably the biggest one, because the opportunities that you can create for yourself here, you're just not going to get them in the Western world. The population to be able to support things a lot more as well, and obviously because it's got such a stronghold on through the Asian community and stuff. You know, you can really develop something if you've got the right people in your corner. So it's definitely a lot easier to get business, to make money, and to be able to better yourself, I guess, in life. You know.
Is there anything that you miss about home in Australia?
I mean, the only thing I miss from home, obviously, is my kids. But I'm grateful to see them regularly anyway. So I don't miss anything about that. No.
So you can see yourself living in Thailand long term?
Oh, Thailand's good for long term. I don't know if it'll be long term. Obviously, we've got different stuff coming up, but we'll see what's next. You know, what opportunities present, and we'll see what comes in the next 12, 18 months. We'll decide as to where we're sort of going.
And Trent, what lessons has Thailand taught you living there?
The biggest lesson I think Thailand's taught me is not always wanting more so much anymore. You know, it's easy to find yourself living with a lot less and a lot more minimal than what would back home, because the mindset changes, because over here everyone's just sort of happy with what they got. You know, it's not everyone trying to outdo each other. For me personally, I'm happy with living basic. I don't really have anything flash anymore that I really want or need, you know, so I'm happy just to be living in a comfortable environment where less is more sometimes, you know, so it's good.
And what's the best advice you could give to someone coming here?
Coming to Thailand, just enjoy it. The biggest thing, I think just have your mind open to experiencing new things, not be judgmental or arrogant in the way that you see things, because it's different way of living, but it's a very easy way of living.
And when's your next fight?
Next fight, well, it was going to be next month, but I've come down 6, so I'd like a good solid 6 weeks of no injuries, and we'll push for March. From that, we'll look to be going to Europe to see what's over there.
Okay,
so,
going international.
Yeah, but it'll be with the bare knuckle side of things, but I've just got to be mindful now, so to speak, as getting a little bit older. The biggest thing is just can't do as many rounds as what used to when I was younger, obviously. And a lot of people, you know what I mean? So it's just as long as the body's good and the mind's good to be in that position, they'll call it a day.
And you mentioned bare knuckle fighting. What's your experiences with that?
Well, it's been offered, but we haven't taken it yet, because we're not finished with the Muay Thai side of things. So we'll finish that out, and then, you know, we've got other options from bare knuckle to left way. So we'll see what comes, but get it out of my system and we'll call it a day. Have
you tried that before?
No, I haven't, but we'll go to either Germany or Myanmar to learn a bit more, and we'll just pick up as much as we can.
I guess the knockout rates in those kind of fights is pretty high.
With the left way, you only win by knockout. You can't. It's a draw, so to speak, without knockout. You know. So, but I mean, when it comes to headbutts, and the other thing with the left way too, also is that you're allowed to headbutt, and if you get knocked out, you're allowed to have what they call a second chance, which you get knocked out, they've got about 3 or 4 minutes to revive you, and then you know, you fight on if you can get up.
What's the name of that?
Left way.
Left way, okay, interesting. All right, big shout out to Trent for coming on the channel today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
I'll put your socials in the description so people can check you out. Have you got some videos of you fighting on YouTube?
Oh, there's everything's on there, yeah. YouTube or Instagram.
All right, well, thanks for coming on the channel.
Thank you, man.
Very insightful. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, click one of these videos, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.